For Wednesday on our virtual day, and this is a really short lesson, and I just want to remind you guys I am taking my girls to the doctor today, so if you have questions about this, go ahead and send me an email. You'll need that for tomorrow. Okay. So if you guys would get the tea table that you picked up yesterday, and if you were not here yesterday, you can download that tea table from Canvas, and I will have paper copies for you when you return. If you're virtual, just print out one of those tea tables if you have access to a printer, because it's much easier to follow when you have it in your hand. So this is the formula to calculate a confidence interval for a mean. So this is actually what we're going to do on Thursday to find confidence intervals with a mean. So we can, say I'm 98% confident that the mean is going to be between this and this. But with a mean, we use a different table than we do with proportions. With proportions, we use a Z-chart, and with means, we use a T-chart. And so whenever we are using T, our entire lesson today is how to find these T values with a T table or a T chart. It will be given to you on an AP exam. It will be in the book with all the formulas. And so we are going to go through how to read this table. Now, the one thing that we need to learn today that is new is what we call degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom is always n-1. And the reason why we use n-1, and I'm just going to, because I have them right here in my hand, I actually have 5 pens or pencils to pick from here. All right, so I have 5. So if I said, hey, everybody grab a pencil, here are some to borrow, and I have people come up to my desk and they just grab everything, the first person that comes up has the freedom to choose. So I have 5 people that say they need something to write with. All 5 come to my desk. The first person that comes has the freedom to choose. They choose. They pick the pen. All right, that's gone. The next person then says, hey, I need one too. But again, they have choices, and they're like, I don't want that one. Ticonderoga is the best, so I'm going to pick that one. And then you go through, the third person again has the choice. The next person has a choice between this pink one and this green one. They're going to pick this one. The homework hotline pencils are probably the worst pencils known to man as far as staying sharp, but it's there. Now this person, the last person, does not have a choice on what they pick. So if you go back, we had 5 to pick from. Only 4 people had the freedom to choose what they wanted. So that is why our degrees of freedom is always 1 less than the sample size, because the last person doesn't have a choice on what they do. So the way this table is read is just a little bit different. And so you can go through the T table. So the T table looks a lot like the Z table. We're talking about one tail here. And if you go through the T's, it gives you tail probabilities. And then it also gives you at the bottom, which is so nice. Oh, I can't zoom out. So we have degrees of freedom all the way across, or all the way down, but at the bottom it has the confidence level. So you can directly, there's like no crazy adding and subtracting here. 90% confidence, 25 degrees of freedom, there's your answer. It's that easy. So if I have some examples I want to do. All right, so this first one, I'm going to say we're going to be 95% confident with a sample size of 20. So on this one, it means that like we assume it's normal and all that good stuff. We draw the bell curve, all that fun stuff. So we go to the bottom of the chart. We are going to find this confidence. Now my sample size is 20, so that means my degree of freedom is 1 less, so it's 19. So we're going to take these two pieces, we're going to find them on the chart and get our t-value. So then you go through, I'm going to have to zoom out for just a second so you can see this. We are going to go to 95% confidence, and we are going to go to our degrees of freedom is 19. We go where those meet, 19, 95, 2.093. So our t-value from the chart is 2.093. Now, when your sample size changes, you can't be as confident or more confident depending on if the sample size is getting bigger or smaller. So on this one, if you have a 95% confidence but your degree of freedom is only 10, you're still looking at that 95% column here, but we are doing 10 degrees of freedom. Sometimes the degrees of freedom is given, sometimes the sample size, just pay attention. 10 degrees of freedom, 95% confidence, gives us a t-value of 2.228. And that's what we'll use in the formula tomorrow. All right, so we've got a couple more. 98% confidence, so I'm going to find 98% here. My n is 6, so that means my degree of freedom is 5. 98%, 5 degrees of freedom. Go where they meet. We get a t-value of 3.365. All right, two more. 90% confidence, not as confident. 11 degrees of freedom. Degree of freedom is given to you right away. 90%, 11 degrees of freedom. Your t-value is 1.796. And the last one, we got a 95% confidence with a sample size of 14, so we got 13 degrees of freedom. So we find 99, go up to 13, see where they meet, except I didn't count that right. 3.012. So the chart is much easier than a z-table. And if you have questions, send me an email and I'll respond to you whenever I can. Just don't forget that I am out tomorrow or Wednesday, so if you send me an email, I might not respond right away, but I will get to you whenever I can. All right, and I will see you all on Thursday.